Hey, it's Jessie. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Werkflow. Werkflow is a startup that's empowering dance with technology. And 8 Count is a show where we bring in top dancers and ask them 8 different questions. So the questions start off really light and fun and then start to get spicier. It's kind of like Hot Ones, but with questions about dance. Subscribe to 8 Count on YouTube, Spotify, and I hope you enjoy this episode.
Question number 1, what song are you dancing to right now?
I guess I'll go first because I'm teaching tonight.
Come on.
I'm teaching at Offstage. I'm teaching to Tyla and Becky G. It's called On My Body.
From her new album.
Yeah, off her new album.
Yes.
The album's so good. It's so good.
It's Heels.
It's heels, yeah. Okay. But I told the sneakers to come through too because I'm trying to get everybody to catch the Tyla vibe.
Yeah.
Man, those Afro beats, like that Afro R&B right now is so amazing. I was dancing in my car. It's not a piece choreographed yet, but I really love Justin Timberlake's Technicolor. Oh. It is just this beautiful love song, and I'm here for all the love songs right now. That it's just, it's
That's
how does it make you feel?
It's just beautiful and sultry and soulful.
Yes.
And it's turn it up in your car and you're just like,
Yeah. When I listen to the album, that's the first song that I favorited.
Oh,
it's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some soulful vibes in the air right now that are just like, yes, good music.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were just talking about this. Great recs, guys. Add them to your playlist.
Shout out Eric Billinger because I've been choreographing to him a lot lately. And he actually responded, and I just always appreciate when artists do that.
Yeah.
So listen to his new album too.
Yes, and choreograph to it and make videos on it because he appreciates it.
Shout out the Aries Kings in here.
How do you know he's an Aries?
Because his birthday is literally like a day before mine.
How do you know his birthday though?
Because I follow him on IG. I've been a fan for years.
Okay. You're basically
I just saw him in concert
twins.
at the observatory. Homeboys, amazing.
When's the wedding? I'm just kidding. What is your go-to dance outfit?
I'm a go.
Okay, yeah.
I'm already in it. No, I'm just like a leather jacket. It's funny, I used to have like a leather, it wasn't real leather. It was a pleather, crop leather jacket that I loved. And it was like my audition jacket. And it was like, good luck. It's definitely falling apart now. But a leather jacket, you got to put like a chain on or something but yeah, definitely. Or, if you could dance in ripped jeans, that would be the vibe too, and a boot. But a leather jacket's always makes me feel badass and cool.
I love that answer.
And a hat maybe.
Yes. What kind of hat?
I love fedoras.
Yes, she does.
I do love my fedoras.
You will catch her in a fedora. If you see her judging a competition, she's most likely in a fedora.
Any hat, really. But I love a fedora, a wide brim fedora.
Fedorable. I love that. Love to see it. Do you ever get hot in your jackets, though?
I mean, you do. I feel like that's part of the training so that you can handle more, know, and especially when you've been I don't know, certain jobs that definitely challenge you in costumes, you're like, I could do anything.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You do get hot, but
a leather jacket is nothing when you've been in crazy leotards and
full body suits, layers on layers, fur.
Exactly.
Yikes.
For me, I would say it is pretty basic, but high-waisted leggings, maybe a crop top, and even if I'm doing hip hop, I still like a little crop top moment, but with some
crops.
joggers or something. Yeah. Yeah.
What kind of heels do you wear?
I'm like a Burju baby, but anything that's over a 4-inch is too high for me. Your honor, shout out to the queens and kings out there, but I'm 4 inches is my limit.
Really?
4.2, I might be able to get away with.
4.25, absolutely not. Get out of here.
Yeah, we gotta sit down for me.
It becomes a pleaser. You're like that.
Especially after my injury, I have to be more mindful of the types of heels I'm dancing in now. So.
Yeah. Was it a dance support?
It wasn't, but I ruptured my Achilles. So.
Oh, I remember this. Last year.
Yes, around the same time, but it wasn't a dance injury. I just tripped and fell. At a dance competition.
It'd be something crazy too.
I know.
Just walking.
What is your go-to dance move?
Probably going a up, down, swoop. Someone's always mimicking me that. I do this thing called bangs and face. So you hit your bangs and then you frame your face. Yeah, and I do that in every class. It's just it feels in the face. It feels really good. That's my go-to.
That's nice. I don't know. I feel like it's a groove. I always like to do this little pelvis out, little swoop step. Yeah, I'm a groover. I'm like any type of groove, or like someone with the body big and full. I like to use my arms and my chest a lot.
I know your dance journey kind of like from a certain point and on, but how did you get started in the very, very beginning? Like your 0 to 1 very first encounters with dance.
That's such a juicy question.
Dang.
Yeah.
Juicy.
Because 0 to 1, I feel like it's like what was how did I become interested, or when did I start pursuing
The whole story.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I was always dancing. Most dancers will say that, you know, like you just love music. You are sitting in front of the TV when you're a kid trying to emulate the Janets and the MJs.
Oh, yeah.
And so a lot of that growing up. But I definitely would say during middle school or like elementary, instead of like playing on the playground, I was like dancing to S Club 7 with my friends, and like we're trying to be like Destiny's Child. And so
Did you
that
make up
was
little dances?
yes, like that was already a thing. It wasn't until middle school where I told my parents, where I was like, I don't really want to do sports anymore. I want to kind of dance, which was a conversation in itself, different story. But back then we didn't have like Instagram or anything. So, you know, all the movies were coming out. You Got Served, Honey. There was like this resurgence of dance. And I was like, where's the nearest dance studio? So I like literally pulled out the Yellow Pages. If you guys know what that is. The Yellow Pages, and looked like up local dance studios. And I tried different dance studios. And from there, that's kind of like how I got my foot in the door. And it was just love at first sight. I just kept trying to find new ways to like expand that. So it was dance team at school, and then another dance studio, and just kept doing it. And then in high school, my dance teacher, bless her heart, she passed away from breast cancer. But she is the one who was like, you should go to LA and you should try taking class out there. You should try auditioning, you know. So me and a friend of mine, Centauria, I don't know if you remember her.
Centauria.
Yeah.
Love shout out Centauria.
Shout out
Centauria.
Yeah. We took my first class, and
Where was it?
it was at Millennium. And my first class was from Karan Land, who still teaches at Millennium to this day.
Yep.
To this day. And it was just an amazing experience. And that my senior year, I auditioned for DDO, which is now, I think, Movement.
Yeah, that was my first agency
Yes,
too, DDO.
DDO. Yeah, and
Crazy.
excuse me. So yeah, after that, I never stopped. It was Disney. After that for a while, and just you kept going. Dance community. Yeah, I mean, it feels weird to go back down the rabbit hole, but yeah.
Right. So that was 0 to 1. Do you just rapid fire from like 1 to 10? Like,
Okay, so I would say a high school dance team to auditioning for DDO. I was like about a year without booking a job. High School Musical 3 at Disneyland. So that was like my first, oh my gosh, I'm dancing for money, you know?
Your dance job.
Yeah. And then I would say I joined Barcata Modern, which is no longer a team, but B-Mod, shout out. And then I joined Breed, Boogie Zone,
Yes.
Utopia. So that was a whole experience in itself. Mischief Makers with Bo Forner. And then I started Vixens, which is my own personal company that I have now. And then just teaching like all the time and trying to maintain a, I guess, flow of income, but also just staying attached to my community, you know? And so that's kind of how I am where I am now.
Oh gosh, it's my turn.
Yes. Knicole's 0 to 1 journey.
Oh my goodness, 0 to 1. And my mom definitely exposed me to dance, or invited me into dance. Not exposed me. She invited me to dance, and they always had this story that my parents went to go see Purple Rain, and I was like in the belly, like, and I was like, makes so much sense because I came out. I'm definitely a Prince fan. Worked for him later down the road, which is incredible. But yeah, 0 to 100. I was in the womb, kicking it, and then came out, and I remember being a kid, like sitting in my grandmother's living room, listening to like her CD albums and stuff like that, and just listening to music. And we used to like dance around the house. Like I remember at one point, like I used to DJ like just for my grandma's house, not like proper DJing, but just like let me play some stuff, you know. So it'd be like Quad City DJs, and we would like choo conga line through the house, and that was really fun at like family parties and stuff. And then was definitely young, got into like the dance studio scene. My mom had taken me to dance classes, and then I do remember, as I got older, like doing talent shows, stuff like that. Rhythm Nation was definitely one of those where I was just like in my living room, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do. That was like,
Absolutely.
Rhythm Nation was a huge, like, I want to do this so bad. So yeah, talent shows, like kept doing those. I was just like, oh, what can I make up? What can I be involved in? Gosh, where does it go from there? Then junior high, I did like dance team stuff. In high school, I continued dancing. We did pep rallies, and that was really fun. Continued to pursue into, like, I found my own agent. I was like, I got to get into this business somehow, and was just like looking up agents and how to get involved. So I got into like extra background work, and then went to Fullerton College for a while, danced there, did theater. And found the dance community. Went to a show one of my best friends was performing at, which was Bust a Groove at the time, which is now Body Rock. But that was my first intro to the dance community. And I was like, I have to do this. And it was, in the beginning, even for that community, was heavily Filipino. And I was like, do I have to be Filipino? I am in my soul. I can make some adobo. Does that count? And I fell in love with that world, the team world. And it's just so beautiful because you're learning how to dance with large groups of people. Yes. And it's humbling. It's a very disciplined world. I'm so thankful to have been a part of it. Meanwhile, also doing teams, I continued to audition in LA, got an agent in LA, started auditioning. One of my first really major, I was coming back from like Prelude NorCal and I had got the call that I had booked a Red Hot Chili Pepper music video. And I was like, like, this is a dream. It's one of my favorite bands. And that was like my first time on a real, well-established, like band backlot at like Paramount Studios, working with Red Hot Chili Peppers and Chris Rock. And that was like an incredible moment that I was like, this is real. This is possible, to do what you love. And so from there, it was like, you have like in between jobs and then you get big jobs, and the big job, they kept leading to bigger and bigger jobs. And I got to do some touring. That was amazing. One of the first tours I got to work on was Jason Derulo. Carrie Hilson. Yeah. And it was incredible too, to also at that point in their careers and where they were as artists. And then from there ended up working for Lady Gaga, went on the world tour, the Born This Way ball. And that was incredible height of my career. And it continued with more artists and amazing things. Prince was a legend I got to work with before he passed, which was a huge honor and very special place in my heart. I had been teaching pretty much since high school, was teaching out the gate, continued teaching, traveled around the world. And I am currently in Las Vegas at Awakening at Wynn. And we're doing a very innovative, technologically immersive, beautiful show in Vegas. So
which I still haven't seen, and I promise I'm going to go see
you better come.
I'm coming.
I'm going. You should come with me.
Oh, I would love it.
I'm finding a weekend at some plan.
We'll
at some time. Yeah.
Because I've been trying. Yeah.
Yeah, come on down. I also, one of the last things I had to say was I got to work my first really big choreography job, which was with Morris Day and The Time, which was, we did Purple Legacy in Las Vegas, and that was actually a huge moment for me that I got to contribute my art on stage and merge together with one of my favorite artists too. So that was like just recently a really big moment for me.
Yes. It's so nice to be reminded of like all the great things that she's done. Like I know as her friend, but to hear her speak about it, because we don't talk about these things when we're hanging out, So I'm like, oh yeah, she did do that. Like that's crazy. It's so fun to hear. I'm not supposed to be the one asking questions, but can I ask her a question?
Of course.
When you were like teaching and traveling, do you have a favorite place or experience from
that's a great question.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because I know it's been a while.
My first really extensive teaching trip was to Norway.
Okay.
And Norway is a very special place in my heart for that moment of teaching internationally. And those friendships that I feel have been lifelong friendships still to this day was super impactful. And just, I loved it. It really opened my eyes to how we connect across, different countries, across the world. And to know that we're still in we have that much relatability and just connection. And so it was more than just teaching. It became like a true life exchange and expansion. And that was really special.
Yeah.
It was a really special time.
That's so nice. I see. I didn't even know she went to Norway. So.
I was like, Norway.
Yeah. Norway. She's so quick with it, and I just love it.
I was like
Pines.
sitting on that, and I'm like, when's a good time to whip it out? What's your favorite place?
Oh, that I've taught internationally?
Yeah.
Man. I want to, like, I'm choosing between China and Sweden, only because I went to China like multiple times, but I can't say China's only because I didn't get to explore different places. I went to like the same place multiple times, but I will say when I was in Malmö, Sweden, like I was able to go to Copenhagen and explore a little bit more, and just the lifestyle while I was in Sweden was so nice. It wasn't even necessarily the like the dancing was great and the community was great. But just being able to slow down and like ride a bike through the city and like sit at a coffee shop and like go to the park. Right. And there's just like not that hustle and bustle of like the daily grind and having to be in class every day and having to post all the time. So I felt like I was operating at such a much calmer state than I normally am. And I feel like since then I've been trying to get back to that low key. But Sweden was probably my favorite experience because I was there for 3 months. Wow. And that was the longest time I've been away from like all the things out here. So
was it like a camp, a convention, or was it just regular?
It's kind of like
classes?
they have like camps throughout the year. So I was there for like their fall session, and it was the first time they had brought someone out to stay for their residency. Normally people come in and like leave, and so it was like a quick
I love
little.
that. They need to do more of that.
Yes.
You know, even for us, I was like, we need to have more people come here for extended periods of time so that people can train and really wrap their minds around, you know, what this person has to offer, what they have to teach. And once you start to get a hold of somebody too, it's like, it's exciting. You're like, oh, I'm learning your lingo. I'm learning your movement, your vocabulary. And then that helps you to connect even that much deeper. And it's like, oh,
agreed. You know, drop-ins, you can't.
It's so fast.
fully soak in.
No.
Still beautiful.
Yeah.
But it's that extra time that you get to marinate.
Yeah.
With someone
it's true training. Really nice. And just being able to travel as an artist too, I think it reminds, at least for me, like of my value. I think when you're stuck in this like cycle of seeing the same things and just, you know, also that comparison game of social media and being out there, I was reminded like, oh man, I have so much more to offer. And I think when you're just stuck in your routine of doing the same thing all the time, you forget that. Yeah. So that was a nice mental reminder for myself.
That's a beautiful segue into my next question. Ooh. Being an artist, especially a performing artist, means that the impact of your work goes beyond just that time when you do that work. There's an audience, there's content, and so inevitably you're going to reach a lot more people. I'm wondering if you have any anecdotes of the ways that your work has impacted somebody.
What a beautiful question.
I know. Honestly, I think it's in seeing a lot of the youth, like where they started and where they go. And life can go in so many different ways and directions, but I think that having that positive impact of what dance was that you shared with them in those early stages and let it cultivate, and whether it became a job or it became a hobby or it became, you know, even like a therapy session. Like you'll see sometimes the people who go to grow up, like they'll either come back into a class at one point and be like, I haven't danced in a really long time, but like you are my safe place to come back to. And I was like, that means a lot to me. And I was like, I must have done something right, that if someone who decided to take an alternative path besides dance, you know, could still feel like it's okay to come back at any time. I'm like, oh, that makes me so happy. Like, I hope that people don't lose that, but I know that life can get away from you sometimes, at least when you're, you know, needing to do those things for yourself, because sometimes you're just running around doing everything else, you know. That's been really awesome to see. Also, the people that have pursued dance, it's amazing to feel like I've had maybe, you know, to what extent I don't know, that's for them to answer, but I've had some hand in their journey, and I'm so proud of them. And just to know that, like, even seeing them at their most vulnerable or their early beginnings, that there was like this beautiful spark or this beautiful potential that when they continue to follow their love, like their passion, and then they just continue to shine on and like accomplish these things, is like, like you want to see them win. And I've seen so many, I say kids, and they're all like getting grown now. It's kind of crazy. I've just seen them continue to do what they love, and it's beautiful. It's really awesome.
Such a beautiful answer.
I'm like getting emotional hearing her talk about it, because I feel like I'm one of those people. Like I'm one of those people who has got to be underneath that experience, you know, and pay it forward. Like now with what I'm doing, and it like seeing people do it and being around that makes it possible for you, you know. So it's dope. Like it's so dope hearing her say that. I think the impact at this point is like, I'm just like grateful. When I was younger, I definitely had that moment of like trying to make a name for myself, and I wanna inspire. Be inspired to inspire type of person, you know. But I feel like when you let that go, that's when you truly start to make a difference. And I mean, specifically for me, I get a lot of people feeling comfortable in their own skin, especially women, which is just so ironic that I'm a man, you know.
You have that beautiful effect on people. That's one of a huge reason why, too, I fully support this person so much, because he is one of the most respectful, like, teachers who truly draw that out in anybody, not just women, but like, just the confidence and the truth of the authenticity is always just so genuine and so at like the pinnacle of what you provide for people. Like, no, you're absolutely amazing. And I always felt that too. When I watched him on stage, I was like, he gets it and loves it and understands. And it's always been from an authentic, genuine place, never from a place of ego and like showing off or something. I mean, you show out, you know, that's for sure. But it was always from a truly like confident, empowered place. Yeah. So he empowers like no
that's
other.
The perfect word. I think is empowering, but it's almost, you know, through sensuality and through fierce movement and through the things that just, you know, were inspiring to me growing up, the Britney Spears and the Christina Aguileras. And, you know, I think I also have been blessed with the ability to just transmute a lot of my own trauma into dance and be able to pay that forward with people feeling comfortable in their own bodies, especially in this day and age where like so many people don't have control over their own bodies. So dance to me is a place where we like can't be shamed for like how we feel.
You're reclaiming
your own
body.
Yeah. And especially when it comes to heels for women, it's like, this is the one space you get to feel sexy and not be ashamed for it. And you don't need anyone else to tell you that you're sexy. Like, you're doing that for yourself. I don't even like using the word sexy. It's really just about confidence and inner strength, you know, but that is the word that people go to. So we'll go with it.
1000%.
Yeah.
There's this feeling or this version of yourself that I think people know that they have, but they don't know how to access it. And I think you give them the tools and the encouragement and the environment to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah, and I feel like, you know, with dance, if you're connecting with it on a deeper level than just having fun, you know, it will like bleed into other areas of your life. And those are the best, like when people come up to you and probably say like, you know, your class has changed me as a person. And those are the best, I think, compliments for sure.
I think we know this just from being dancers.
Yeah.
But there's actually a new study that came out that proved that dance is more effective than any other form of exercise and any other antidepressant, like SSRIs, to cure depression. The number one. And not even by a little bit. It's by a lot.
It makes sense.
I saw a chart.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, dancers look younger. They stay active. I mean, for me, I have days where I physically don't know how I'm doing it, but it's like the connection with the community and being able to have that like space that keeps me going, you know?
Yeah.
God bless.
It's mental, physical, emotional, spiritual.
Yeah.
Social.
Yeah, social. It's just really bringing a lot of awareness to all different places. Like, it just puts you more, I think, aligned and in tune with yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Dance and and feeling.
Yeah, I mean, most people don't even stretch, their bodies. So
Yeah.
to be able to dance all the time is definitely a blessing that I don't take for granted.
What was your most memorable dance job and why?
Yeah, okay. I have one where I got to work with Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Classic.
Classic. Like
Classic.
90s
Iconic.
baby. Yeah,
I wanted to be her.
Oh, yo,
she's
low-key me too.
Beautiful. She's amazing.
She's amazing. And I think that job for me was so cool because it was the first time I got to work with like trapdoors and like do like really fun prop type of stuff.
Fun.
Never in my life thought I would do anything like that. But just also work with someone that you grew up watching.
Yeah.
Like I was trying not to be like a fanboy, But she was so sweet and she was so great and she was a triple threat and I didn't know that. I thought she was just an actress, but she can sing and she can dance and working on that project specifically with her, seeing her do everything was just like respect. Respect. Yeah. So that was a really cool experience.
So dope.
Yeah. There's
And
more.
what was that
but
for again?
That was for a show called it's not even on anymore. What do you call it when you have a list? The client list. I think it was called the client list. And she had 2 seasons, and she did this promo for it to I'm a Woman, and yeah, it was great. Yeah, one of my first jobs, so it just felt really like exciting too. Another would probably just be Disney. I love Disney. I didn't think I would, but I did. You see people from all over the world, and I just got to do multiple shows and work with multiple casts. And
Which shows
What?
did
Yeah, I
you
was
do?
gonna say, like what shows, David?
Okay, so High School Musical 3 was where it started, and then Pixar Play Parade. There was Soundsational Parade if you're a Disney fan. Fantasmic. Mickey and the Magical Map. Most recently, The Lion King. Probably a few others that I'm forgetting.
Wow.
Christmas Parade, Halloween. I've done a Halloween parade. Just so many different shows there. And I think working there set up the stage for just being prepared to do other things, that I'm doing now. And you just never know until like hindsight.
So if you guys went to Disneyland, you probably saw him perform.
I mean, the Born This Way ball was something that it was a whole life-changing period of my life, for sure. There's just nothing like going on tour and experiencing, I just like the ultimate level of production to me. Like the band is like the best band in the world, like the best musicians in the world, and they're playing live, and the speakers are at the loudest volume level possible. So, the music is vibrating through your body. Like it's just like that tangible experiences and energy I've never felt before. I remember like one of the most tangible moments was like we had a 5-story, it was like a 5-story castle for that show. And it opened up and there was like ladders and stairs and like little rooms and like gates and like all these things. And in the beginning we did Born This Way. It was awesome. We got to be barefoot on the stage. It's like, it felt so good to be barefoot. And we crawled out and then we laid down in the smoke. And it was just so theatrical. Like you're on a different planet, so we're laying in the smoke and the stage is like vibrating and you hear like the audience is screaming. And it's just like, even that sound of like an audience, like this united force of people that are just like loving life. Like this is the moment, it's just like I had to take it in every night, like take it in. This is something really special. And then it starts and it's like as loud as the music is, like that's how hard you're dancing. So that was incredible, like traveling the world, seeing beautiful places, meeting beautiful people, seeing, everything from like really luxurious, beautiful things to like true poverty, like in third world countries, and like seeing that firsthand and just like wrapping your brain around the world was like, it was a beautiful experience I will never forget. And she was fun to interact with and she was playful and just every show was always different. Something different was going on. Like whether it was a different interaction with her specifically or the people on stage. And there was 12 of us as dancers, and it was also kind of this experience of what it is to create synergy with a group of people. And everyone was very different, but connected on a level that is just like, it's hard to accomplish that unless you're on that level together. So, yeah, that was my favorite job. It just was beautiful. It was the best money I ever made, and the best experience for doing what I love at a level like that. That's my favorite. There's definitely some other ones in there.
There's so many. It's so crazy. I love that she chose that one because it's obviously I was around and I was on Breed and I was able to see her go through that entire process. She was literally our director at the time and would have to leave, and then when she made it, she would come back during the process and she's like directing the set, and then she would leave, and it was like, and so crazy to see someone do that. I'm like, wow, like, you don't have to be here, but you're still here, you know, like giving us your all. And I was able to go to that audition. We auditioned for that together.
I was on my birthday, too.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like, you know, one of those things where you're like, it's my birthday.
Yeah.
I don't want to be rejected on my birthday. Like, who wants to do that on your birthday? You don't want to go to auditions on your birthday. Not really, you know? Like,
and they took like two people, like one, you were the only person they took.
The girl, yeah.
Yeah, it was a million people at that audition. And it was her out of everybody.
It was pretty nuts. It was
crazy.
It was, and the circumstances were pretty funny. That's a whole nother story.
Yes.
But also to say that, you know, when you feel that, you know, I don't know, when you don't want to push yourself, but you know you should push yourself, those are kind of the times when the magic happens. Is, you know, when you're just like, okay, like, let me show up.
Yo,
let me show up, regardless of how I'm feeling right now. Let me show up.
I feel that. Yep.
And then boom,
and
book a world tour.
It was crazy. I remember my agent called. She's like, "Are you sitting down?" And I was like, "Oh, it's gone." Like, it took like a few weeks before we heard anything. And I was like, you know, you go through that back and forth in your head where you're like, "No, it's fine. Just you're not going to get a call. It's fine. Just move on with your life. Just continue as normal." But in the back of your head, you're like, did they call the people? You like check in with your friends. Did anybody hear anything? Did anybody know? And then you kind of like, okay, it's past the point. I'm gonna give it up. And then I got the call, and she's like, "Are you sitting down?" And I like, it's like shaking, fell down to my knees, like crying, happy, excited. Just like, oh, it was a crazy feeling. That was crazy.
Wow.
You know, that she like can only tell so many people, you know, like you have to hold that energy in until it's like, by the way, I'm leaving for the world tour with Lady Gaga. We're like, what?
Well, because there's times too where I learned that I had booked jobs and I was very excited. And I did share that with a lot of people. And then, you know, entertainment is very unpredictable at times, and the majority of the time out of your control, and had some hard lessons, not like in a bad way, like I had done something wrong, but just where you think, you know, you do have the job. You have the job, and then there's a change that gets made. And in that moment, everything could be ripped away from you. Your dreams, or where you thought you were safe and everything was going the way you thought it was going to go, and then it just kind of threw a wrench, and then you're like, ugh.
Yes.
So, you know, it's just, also, it's taught me to just, you know, take each day as it comes, love and appreciate each moment as it is, and, you know, don't attach too hard to anything, because anything could happen at any moment. So it's humbling, you know, humbling moments for sure. And
auditioning and booking a job, that's not a consistent thing.
Yeah.
How are you supporting yourself in between?
That's so funny that you asked, because as she was just talking, I was like, as she was talking about learning her lesson, there are so many lessons learned where it forced me into a space of like, boy, you better start creating for yourself, and you better start making opportunities happen and stop waiting for them. And so I think with the dry spells and with even getting auditions that you don't want to go to, like I'm like, this doesn't align anymore. Like I'm not thirsty for every opportunity that comes my way. So like, what can I do to keep doing what I love to do, but that's more fulfilling to me. So that's kind of why I started doing Vixens. It was like a project-based thing, and once it became like a company, you know, it was more of a regular source of income. But just teaching in general and doing workshops and saying yes to things that you maybe wouldn't say yes to, like teaching, you know, kids, and saying yes to opportunities that may be free, or not pay as much as you would like them to pay, but it's exposure. So all of those things, I think, just kind of play into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think teaching is always kind of like that nice, like, this is my place where I get to do what I want. And I kind of, to some extent you have control over that, and that's like something beautiful that's yours to continue to cultivate, right? And then, I've definitely had to do the other stuff. I have worked multiple like other jobs that were 9-to-5s, or I've worked in hotels and restaurants. I've worked at a gas station. I worked at Cake and Art, which was a 3D art cake bakery, doing like front of house and doing other things, which also those jobs in the, we say like your 9-to-5 jobs, if you will, those always lend to your growth too. I think as a professional, just, what it is to be on time, to clock in, to clock out, or, to deal with people, or to multitask, or to be good at emails, or, phone calls, or, these certain things that just, I think lend to you being a better professional, and also, understanding from different perspectives, being in different people's shoes, like I've been the guest at the hotel and I've been the front desk, I've been on this side and I've been on that side. So I have a wider appreciation and respect to be able to, again, relate also and to appreciate, what it's like to be on the other side and in those positions. So I think that's super helpful. Just customer service in general. I'm like, everyone should go through it once in their life.
I think it's so important
to be on that side,
what she's saying, because like I think a lot of dancers get into the industry or start wanting to pursue it as a career, but neglect like so many other aspects of skills that will ultimately help you maintain a sense of, I guess, just being successful in this industry, whatever that means to you. But just being a good dancer isn't enough. Like you have to communicate. You have to learn how to deal with great people and shitty people and accountable and adaptable.
It's also important too to like, sometimes you're like, well, I moved to LA, I didn't want to do this. Well, sometimes those lead to opportunities. Sometimes those relationships lead to other things you wouldn't expect them to. Also, sometimes doing those hard jobs, again, make you appreciate the jobs you want to do. So if all you're focused on is just what you want to do, or you get into those jobs and then you're
they're
like,
not what you thought it was going to be.
They're not what you thought it was going to be, or you hate it, or it becomes tainted because that's all you've been exposed to. And so now it's just extra like misery in what you love. It's like, no, go do something else. So then you can further appreciate what you're also doing now. I think that's something that I think was important.
I agree. Actually, ironically, the times where I felt the most creative or hungry to be creative were times where I was working a job for money that wasn't creative at all. And so, you're going through certain things and you're picking up skills and meeting people, but it kind of was a good palate cleanser in a way. So I'm not so tunnel visioned and putting so much pressure on the art, and letting myself be a balanced human with polarity.
It's refreshing to hear you guys say that, because I've never had a regular job. Like, I've only danced, which is a huge blessing. But I do feel that a lot. I get burnt out. And I get to the point sometimes where I'm like just tired and exhausted, or feeling like, oh, what else do I have left in the tank? Like I need to live life a little bit and just take a break. But it is hard to do that when like that is my body is my work, So,
ooh, that part.
Yeah.
Ooh,
right now.
Let's not forget.
Elaborate.
Oh, our body is our work.
Yeah.
I think we are all on a mission as an industry, as a community. Well, I'll say for the professional side of dance in general that, we are athletes.
Yes.
We are athletes. We are athletes and actors. It's kind of like the combination. So there's a lot that we're pushing to be, I think, valued, respected, recognized, acknowledged, that our work goes beyond, just the mental, and it is heavily physical. It is demanding. It is, it's a discipline. So we're, we got to get to this level where the standard is raised for, there's a lot to do with just the financial side of dance. There's some beautiful ways we make money. We're gifted opportunities to make money doing what we love, and we all appreciate that. I just think that we're still undervaluing ourselves, and that we should be at a level where we can truly thrive and create more legacy for ourselves and families and safety and stability. And so we're fighting for that.
Always.
We are fighting for that because we can't just get comfortable with, oh, look at, we're being, you get to do this for this huge sports event or this huge award, this or that. It's like we've got to be at the level that actors are getting paid, athletes are getting paid, and we're fighting for that on a constant. But the more we kind of, show our value, continue to be our top-notch professionals, professionalism, just demonstrating it, I think that it's going to come and it's going to change. So that's a mission.
That is a mission, a constant mission.
A mission. Because our bodies aren't forever, Our bodies, I think some of us are older than we are physically, and like good and bad, right? Like we're definitely strong and healthy for the most part, but oh man, I'm like, I got pains that I think like my,
Yes. Yeah, like an older
my older
person.
Family members definitely have them. Like, I feel you. They're like, what are you talking about? You're like half my age. I'm like, if you only knew.
But I think because of dance, because we dance so much, I think it does force you almost to be more mindful of your body. Like when my friends want to like invite me out to the clubs and stuff, like I literally can't go. It's not because I don't want, well, sometimes I really don't want to. But it's really because like my body can't recover as fast, or like I need to make sure that I'm ready for dance the next morning. Like, so there are a lot of sacrifices that you have to make. And then I think also cross training, like you have to get in the gym. Like there gets to a point where you can't just be bopping around, and especially dancing in heels and things, you have to take breaks, like, so being mindful of your mental health, your physical health, and then obviously like your spiritual health, because we are two-part beings. And I feel like just surrounding yourself with like crazy music all the time, and that can get to you. Like you need a palate cleanser, so to say.
Yeah. What do you think the dance industry is missing?
I was thinking about this on the way here.
Respect and honor. It's a standard. I mean, we don't truly have a union. We do have Dancers Alliance, which is a very important part to us getting there, that are setting standards, that are setting rates, that are having the discussions, that are, bringing things up to the industries like the SAG-AFTRA, which is mostly for film, television, and radio, but we need it for live stage. There's some stuff that is, unionized, like equity and things like that, for theater, but especially in Las Vegas, specifically, there's so many performers. It's definitely like this world capital of a city, that brings people of incredible skill. I mean, people who are not only, there's, like the circus community, which is beautiful. Like they're generations deep in these skills, in this craft that has been passed on, which is beautiful when you realize how deep it goes, how rooted it is, and the culture behind it. And the same with dance. And that spans so many different genres. But, we are the bodies, the faces, the entertainment, the people are coming to be entertained constantly. And people are risking their lives constantly on a nightly, multiple times a night. Who risk. I mean, I've seen there's some beautiful acrobats who, are doing crazy things. They'll have a whole family, like 3 children, a husband, and they're out there, in peak condition, top physical shape, clear-minded, healthy, but they risk their lives every night. And it's, they're paid, but not to the level that, and it's hard to compare. It's very difficult to compare. But, you've got athletes who are on millions and millions of dollars a year. You've got producers and people who are making millions of dollars off the backs of out of performers,
the showrunners. And we're the face of the show. And I always feel like we're still at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to
why do you think
being paid financially.
I think people are too willing. I think there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear, unfortunately, that, hey, if you don't like it, you can get out of here. And it's like, and you find somebody younger or somebody less experienced. But there's a lot of value in experience. And I think we're choosing to neglect seeing that.
A lot of dancers do what they do because they love it too. So like given the opportunity, you're telling a 17-year-old, 18-year-old kid, like, you get to dance for such and such, but it's this pay, I'm pretty sure they're going to take the opportunity because they've been training for this their whole life, you know? Then you have someone on K's side who's been doing it, so I don't necessarily need to say yes to this because I know what I should be paid, you know? So guess who they're going to go get? That 17-year-old kid, you know? So it is a cycle, and I think it's a conversation that's continuing to be had. Shout out to Smiley, Taja Riley, right? Who's out here always advocating for us in those spaces, but it's a constant battle.
And I think it's, about continuing to have conversations, but we have to do more than just talk about it. We have to take more action, and we have to stand together, and it's more about getting people on the same page and getting information out, which again, Dancers Alliance is a great source to see, what should dancers be making per show? What do those look like? Oh, is that how much I could be making? Like,
just the awareness.
If that's the case, if that's the case, then let me fight for it, because then I can convince, my family that this is something worth investing into or, supporting, because a lot of times people don't feel supported because they think, oh, you can't make a living doing that. And the truth is you can. It's just also about letting the other people who are in charge also understand that, you want that quality. You've got to take care of it, pay for it, honor it. But we can, I feel like people in those positions don't have to be so stingy with their money. It's like reinvest it into the people who, are running the show for you. Invest in them, and that's just going to do more. It's like, what is it? It's like this overpour, it's like it pours over and then it continues pouring, keeps pouring and pouring versus, being like really, stingy with it. It's like, no, because that just creates more positive repertoire, and that just grows, and then that feeds even, a continued branching of positivity and of, great feedback or great review or great, it's a whole collective experience. So
I feel like you appreciate what appreciates you too.
100%, because then you're going to back it. Then you're going to do more to grow that. I think that's with, marketing and advertising and brands and businesses. And now it's like, hey, that resonates with me. And if these people are happy, I'm going to get on board with that because they're happy. And then they're going to be more happy. They're going to tell more people that we're happy so you could be happy too. And it's just like multiplies.
There's no HR for dance either. So I feel like a lot of things come into power plays, and you don't want to speak on certain people or certain topics, or you don't want to be, quote unquote blacklisted or talked about. So sometimes people, I think, when they have a bad experience, they just, rather keep it to themselves or keep it within their small communities, but not put it out for the world to hear, because it can be scary sometimes knowing like, damn, like now that I've spoken up, my opportunities are going to be taken away from me. But I would say this up and coming generation, because of social media, are using their platforms to speak out about a lot of the things that we're mentioning. So it's nice to see. Yeah. And I'm hopeful, definitely. Yeah. But it's an ongoing battle for sure.
And definitely opportunity to continue to build what we don't see yet. And I think the more of us that come together and lend the things that we know and help each other, I think we can build those environments and lead by example that this is possible. We can function like this if, you would just get on board and believe. So until then, we got to create what we don't see yet.
As you can tell, Werkflow is all about dance and specifically the dancer. And for the last few months, we've been designing and developing our brand new platform, which is dedicated to the dance community. And we'll be launching the platform in just a few months, so make sure you're signed up to the waitlist so you can get early access and perks.
Okay, so I want to have you guys complete the sentence. My ultimate dream in dance.
My ultimate dream in dance. I feel like I'm already doing that, which is...
I love that.
Yeah.
You're
People
living your
ask
dream.
me like all the time, like, what do you want to be doing in 5 years? And I'm like, I'm doing like what I want to be doing. I think people want this like grand, like own my own studio or, travel the world and teach all over. But like, I don't know. I'm just being able to connect with people from all different walks of life, especially in this climate of craziness that we're living in. I think it's like a rare thing. And dance does that for me every week. Like, it's so amazing. And we're like putting aside our differences and we're literally in this room to just vibe and connect, and we leave feeling better and empowered, and we like put that energy out into the world. And I'm like, when you can look at it from that perspective, I'm like, I'm already doing what I want to be doing. So maybe on a bigger scale, you know, but what is it? With more power comes more responsibility. So sometimes that scares me because people see greatness in you and they're like, oh, you should be doing this. You should do more. But I'm like, I'm happy and I'm very content with where I'm at. Do I want to achieve more things? Of course, but I feel very, very grateful for the things that I've been able to do. Yeah.
Okay.
With dance, I mean, I want to continue cultivating more community in professional spaces because a lot of times on the professional side, you do feel very alone at times, and coming from both the industry and the community, seeing how beautiful the community can work with large groups of people, and being humble enough for the majority, like, you know, as a team, to take direction, to come together, to, shed the things that don't serve you, you know, versus like kind of fighting your own way. You become a teammate. I want to see that more in the industry, because sometimes it just feels like every man for themselves.
It's very isolating.
And it's just the people who really get that magic and come together as a team and as a community on an industry job. There's more magic to be made. So that being more of a dream, like to continue cultivating that, again, to bring the standard of what we're being paid as professionals to a higher level is definitely a goal.
Yeah.
To people to really realize, you know, and money doesn't give you value, you know, it doesn't, so that it's not about like, oh, you know, we're undervalued, but at the same time, it's just like, no, you need to be seen as an equal to the things that other people hold at a very high level, and dance is one of those that is still on its way.
Respected.
Respected.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same for like dance and life, because you asked two. And so I feel like,
Oh, wait, I have to say it for the camera.
yeah.
Okay. All right. My ultimate dream in life.
Okay. So, yeah, my ultimate dream in life would be to, oh man, not me getting emotional, but to leave an impact that resonates beyond the physical. You know, like, I would hope that with the things that I've accomplished and the connections I've made and the conversations that I've had, the very human experiences, that God could be seen in some of those spaces, that love could be seen in some of those spaces. Yeah, I feel like it's hard with everything going on in the world right now. And so it just makes me want people to, have some type of experience where they're left like, you know, that changed me for the better. If I could have done that, then like I feel like my mission was accomplished. You know, happiness, having a family, all of those things are very nice, you know, but like the impact, if I'm making like a positive impact, and like I said, if people can see love and God in that, then my job is done. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like my answer is right around that same area.
Yeah.
It's the same, you know, it's to continue cultivating love, you know, love and healing and well-being, like that we can function in much better ways and evolve for the better. I mean, in every aspect, for sure, in every aspect of life. And, you know, may our lives be a testimony to that spiritual walk, because it is a spiritual walk and it's a beautiful one. And I just hope that more people can, see the magic that lies in their lives continually unfolding, and it's definitely love. Love is the goal. Love is the mission. I was like, I got that tatted. It says here to love, because that's the reminder, it's the bottom line, and it's a bass clef, because it's like, that's my heartbeat, that's my rhythm, that's like the bottom line, so yeah, cheers to love and healing.
So like similar. I don't know why I'm crying, but I have a tattoo here too, and mine is We're All Just Walking Each Other Home by Ram Dass, and it's just so funny. Like, we're two peas in a pod when it comes to like the way that we approach.
You mind holding up your tattoos for the camera?
Oh. Yeah.
Cute. What a cute shot. Beautiful. Yeah, just want to make sure people can see.
Yeah, that's the message.
Am I Oprah? Like,
Right?
tearing up.
Okay. Girl, I wasn't prepared at all. I mean, I didn't know how emotional I was going to get, but with Kay, I always have a very like vulnerable, safe space. So I've always been able to just kind of like talk to her about anything, and whether it was about dance or life. So I think having us together allowed for that. And you too, you're always just so easy to talk to. And
I'm just a curious person.
Bringing it to the masses, though, that's amazing.
yes, I think this is so dope.
Yeah, so thankful to have a space to get to talk about these things, and again, hopefully, the messages get out, and it's already creating this ripple effect. I'm looking at the ripples on the table of the wood. It's like drop in the water. It's just like rippling out, So this is awesome. So grateful to be here.
And shout out to all your communities, past and present.
Oh yeah, man.
All of them? Oh, dang.
Okay.
I don't
As
want to
you
miss
can see, it's
anybody.
all about dance, and specifically the
Thanks for
dancer.
having me.
For the last few months, we've been designing and
Wow,
developing
okay.
our brand new platform,
Well, we
which
have
is
some
dedicated to
similar
the dance
things, but I will
community.
say,
And we'll be launching the platform in just
shout
a few
out
months,
to
so
obviously
make sure
the
you're signed up to the
Vixens,
wait
like,
list so you can get
all
early
of us at
access and perks.
Vixens.dance. Just very proud of them right now. And our past and present, I gotta say Boogie's Own Breed, even though they're epicenter right now. So shout out to Elm Pizarro, Maker Empire Fam, Bo, Troublemakers, Rogue Makers. They killing it right now. Shout out to them. And then, I have Offstage Fam, Shauna Barista over at Movement Lifestyle, and I. The list goes on, but just these are platforms that I'm able to be a part of, and spaces that I'm able to share. So shout out to all you guys. Thank you. Love you. And hopefully I see some of you guys in class.
Hey. Gosh, there's so many. I'm currently at Awakening at Wynn, so shout out to Team Awakening. It's been a beautiful cast, a beautiful family of people that are just amazing. Before that, where was it? Cake and Art, whoop, whoop. Over in West Hollywood over here, just down the street. Good people over there. Boogie Zone / Epicenter is a beautiful, our community hub. Team Millennium was my very first community team.
Come on, TM.
So I Heart TM, always wear my I Heart TM shirts. And there's been many companies in the midst of all of that. There's been like Essence and Maven and Collusive and Culture Shock as well. Like so many things. Shout out to all the studios, to just all the people involved in the community. The list is so expansive. Shout out to the band, Alice King. I miss everybody. It's been amazing. That's an amazing journey with music. Yes. And all the while still songwriting and teaching and doing all the things. So shout out to all the studios, the ones that are still open, the ones that are closed, unfortunately. Yeah. We carry on your legacy. And it's been beautiful to have been a part of many studios that are like Edge Performing Arts Center. Miss you, Edge.
JV Dance
Downtown Dance.
Yeah.
And JV. And there's been so many beautiful studios. Just, but we carry you on. We carry you on.
Shout out S1L in Irvine. Shirley, I love you so much. I teach there weekly. She's amazing.
To C-Spot, to... Gosh, there's so many studios. We could go on for days and list all the studios.
In the Groove, Bay Area, Full Out,
But where you can find me, I'm still, currently at Flavorful Soul on the IG over there. And then you can find...
Oh, yeah, I didn't say that. At David Slaney. Just like
Slay
it sounds.
Me.
Yes. Play off my last
Slay.
name.
Perfect
Slay,
handle.
slay.
Yes.
You almost can't call him David. It's like, what?
I know.
Like, you have to call him Slaney.
Slaney.
What a powerful last name.
You know, shout out to my dad.
Shout out to my parents. Yeah, God first and foremost.
Exactly.
First and foremost. Sorry, he came later, but you know, God first and foremost.
Always. Always.
Thank you both so much
Thank
for this
you.
beautiful, illuminating conversation. You guys are so
nice.
wonderful, wonderful artists, wonderful human beings.
Thank you, Jess.
I'm so lucky.